We've come out fossil hunting tonight. It was actually quite light when we set off to come fossil hunting, however the darkness has come in quite quickly. Luckily we brought our headlamps. We've also come down with Shay, who's having a look as well further up the beach. I'll meet up with him later on. Let's start having a look for some fossils and see what we can find.
At the end of today's video, we're also going to be having a look at an absolutely surreal fossilised fish which we found. I'm really excited to show you that. First of all, let's have our fossil hunt, then we can look forward to seeing the fish later on. Shay's heading off to a different part of the beach. I'm going to go have a look elsewhere, and we'll be meeting up shortly. Fingers crossed we find some really good fossils today. It's really cold and windy, as you can probably tell, but luckily for us, there's also been a recent rough storm which has hopefully churned up lots of the beach. Lots of clay and shingle will have been moved around, and hopefully there's going to be lots of fossils scattered across the beach ready to be picked up. Let's have a look around and see what we can find. It's quite different looking for fossils with the head torch. Usually used to looking for fossils with the sunlight. A little bit of plant material there, some compressed fossilised wood. Oh, there's a pretty nice, what looks to be a Harposaurus fossil there. Nice ammonite. It's quite easy to spot where this is actually on video using the head torch. Let's get a closer look at that one. Oh, that's a nice size. Got one of the squid-like creatures preserved next to it as well, a belemnite. Quite a lot of nice pyrite crystals as well, pyrite clusters. That's a pretty nice piece. It's just the imprint, however, so I'll leave that here for someone else to have a look at as they come along. Might be something else freshly washed out for us to find. And of course we've got Shay over at a different part of the beach having a look for some fossils as well. It's going to be interesting catching up with him to see what he's managed to find. Bit more fossilised wood there. Again, it's not worth taking on this occasion. Looks like I've spotted our first nodularised ammonite of the day. It's got a complete centre to it.
I hope you're enjoying the video so far. It's actually quite a lot harder than you think, finding the fossils at night time. I think it's a lot easier to find them in daylight.
We're now going to move further up the beach and have a look at some of the shale preserved fossils. I've seen a fair few as I've been walking along, so let's have a closer look at them and see if there's any interesting fossils amongst them.
It's quite a big patch of compressed ammonites here. Lots and lots of little Tiltonosaurus ammonites. Can't even count just how many there are. That's just in this little small area. There's a few other little patches of them dotted round that I've seen further over. Pretty nice quality as well. These are all just naturally being gradually eroded by the sea.
Imagine how many there must have been over the years that have been completely uncovered and then washed away just a few tides later. Barely ever find, or pretty much never find, these ammonites 3D. All the ones that we've ever found have been completely crushed flat, just like these. Still pretty nice to see though. There's a belemnite here, really eroded. One of the squid-like creatures, just like the one we found earlier against that larger Harpoceros ammonite. There's also a little piece of wood next to it, just starting to become exposed.
Well, we found a few fossils there, but let's move to a different part of the beach and see what else we can find.
We're now heading to a completely different part of the beach. We're going to be looking amongst some clay that has been recently churned over by the recent rough sea. You'll soon see in a moment that there's absolutely loads of shale, mud and shingle to look through. We've reached it now. Shay has probably already had a quick look as he's walked along. However, we're going to have a much more thorough look and see what we can find. Let's start having a look about.
Just picked up this other ammonite straight away. Very partial on this side, but when I turned it over, it's got a really lovely imprint. So perhaps someone else has come along and had the ammonite itself and we're just left with the imprint, but it still looks really nice.
Let's have a look amongst this, see if there's any fossils around. Bound to be a fresh nodule somewhere. There's something down there. That looks like a nice ammonite fresh out. Is it going to be complete? No. Oh, that's a shame. Thought that was a nodule at first, but it's just a pretty big lump of shale that's all stuck together. Potentially something in this nodule. I'll quickly open that with my hammer and see what's inside. It was a very tough nodule. Took quite a while to open it actually, and it was completely empty. Let's look for some more. Looks like there's potentially something in that nodule. You can see the keel of what looks to be a little Hildoceros ammonite. I'll open that one up as well. Just giving it a couple of very gentle taps. I've not looked what's inside yet, so let's see. Wow. It's got a complete Hildoceros ammonite hidden inside. Really happy with that. Just a little bit of preparation around that side. We'll have ourselves a complete ammonite. Really good. I'll be highly surprised if this nodule doesn't contain anything. You can even see there's a split already, where it looks like it wants to just open up. Similar to the Hildoceras, I've given it just 1 or 2 taps and straight away it opened along that fracture that we saw. Let's see what's inside. Got a near complete pyritized ammonite. It will be complete all the way to the centre once that little bit of rock is removed at home. Separated through part of this chamber, revealing some of the inner calcification, but it still looks quite nice. There was a tiny little fracture around this edge piece of limestone. A bit more came off there, and it revealed this really, really pyritic outer whorl. Look at that. That's really, really nice.
I've just spotted a couple of nodules laid on the beach. Can't believe Shay has walked past them. Maybe the tide wasn't quite far enough out when he walked along. I'll show you them now.
Here's a look for the fossils. There's the first one. It's pretty unbelievable how this is literally just sat on top of all this clay and little pieces of shale. There's another one right here as well. These look like top quality ammonites. Once they're prepared, they're going to look stunning. Probably empty. That's an enormous nodule right there. Doesn't look the best quality though. It's really pyritic. It's not even worth opening that one, I don't think. This one's quite stuck. Oh, came out easily in the end. I think it's worth opening that as well. Maybe we'll open that one when we get home though. You can see there's almost certainly going to be something inside, but hard to tell what. Don't think it's big enough to have a nice complete ammonite inside, but we'll see. That's enough fossil hunting at our part of the beach. Now let's go meet up with Shay and see if he's found anything exciting. I can already see him in the distance with one of his friends, and hopefully they've got a bag full of fossils. I'll ask Shay to show us what he's found. And don't forget, we've still got that incredible fossilised fish to have a look at the end of the video.
I've just met back up with Aaron. We've both been searching different parts of the beach. We found plenty of ammonites, but this is probably my favourite one. It's small, but it's absolutely perfect, and it's actually fully pyritised, so it's really nice and golden. So let's have a little look at it. It's split open perfect all the way to the centre. We usually find ammonites with little bits of pyrite, but this one's completely covered. When we first split it, we thought it was just going to be a pretty average sea-worn ammonite, but it turned out to be something rather special. It's not often we get perfectly split pyritised ammonites like this. We've just spotted this keel of an ammonite. It's really pyritised. You can see the pyrite crust surrounding the whole nodule. So let's give it a crack and see what's inside. Looks like it should split open pretty easily. There's a nice crack all the way around. There we go. Oh wow, not too bad at all. Took a little bit longer to split it open. The final result is pretty gorgeous. It's a really nice ammonite. See some of the calcite exposed there where the chamber's split in half. It's a really nice specimen.
That's all of the fossil hunting we're going to be doing today. Let's head home and have a look at one of our favourite fossils that we've got in our collection.
Every single nodule here contains an ammonite fossil. They range from large to small ammonites and also different species. The majority of nodules here will open up really well. You can never guarantee which ones will, however these have the best chance. If you'd like a selection of ammonites to open up yourself at home, please contact us on our Instagram page, yorkshire.fossils, or alternatively visit our official website, yorkshirefossils.net, for both ammonites to open yourself, as well as fully prepared specimens. And if you do get some, I really hope you enjoy opening them, and thanks in advance for supporting what we do. This fossil fish we found several years ago. Couldn't quite believe it as I was walking along, and from quite a way away I saw what looked to be the remains of a fossil fish. As it turned out, we've actually got most of the body of the fish and pretty much complete head. Because a lot of the body was already worn away, I was pretty sure that the head was also going to be completely eroded, but as you can see, it's just not the case. We've got a complete lower jaw filled with razor sharp teeth. And this fossil is exactly left as we found it. There's been no preparation done to it whatsoever. We've even got the eye still preserved as well. It's absolutely surreal. Although a lot of the body had worn away, there's still a pretty nice proportion of it preserved. We've got what looks to be lots of little ribs here. Some scales and probably the remains of vertebrae, although it's hard to tell. Maybe part of a fin there as well. Imagine what it would have been like if it had been found before it was eroded. But nonetheless, we are absolutely over the moon to have found this piece. What an impressive fossil to find, especially one as rare as a fossilized fish. We hope you've enjoyed watching today's fossil hunt. Lots of really incredible fossils found, and of course the fossilized fish is absolutely one of our favourites. If you decide to get some ammonites to support the page, we really appreciate it. It goes a long way helping with share and with our fossil preparation. Just to round off the video, I've got this clip that we took of a really impressive waterfall. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.